Awesome, guys. Well, congratulations.
Thank
Um,
Thank
you.
I
you.
would love to know a little bit about what got you into editing and led you to where your career is today.
Oh my gosh.
Sure.
My
Shelly, would you like to start?
long story made short, I had a career at the Federal Reserve Bank and I wanted to work in film my whole life. And I took an opportunity to transfer to the Fed New York. And then I became kind of involved in the New York community, film community, volunteering at film festivals and things. And I found a place to intern, took a leave of absence, got some film skills. And when the Fed said I had to come back, I was able to get on a super cool indie film called Velvet Goldmine. And that was like my first film job. So then from there, I just kept working hard and made it out to LA about 15 years ago now. So yeah, kind of a long journey, but I'm where I'm
We're
at.
here on the red carpet.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Um, I went to school for I went to film school. I went to Chapman University and always wanted to be an editor. I studied editing, and as soon as I graduated, I knew I wanted to start working immediately. I was a big fan of Ryan Murphy's television and knew I wanted to get in there. So I got in on American Horror Story as a post-production assistant, and that's where I met Shelly Westerman and where we started our working relationship. And I climbed the ladder through there working as an assistant and then started cutting. And now we're on Only Murders, and it's just the best ever. So I'm very grateful and happy.
How does like your style of transitioning you use within all the editing you do vary based on the project you're working on?
I think the project dictates the style, right? Like you've got a set of skills, like basic editing skills, but you adapt to the material. Like working in the Ryan Murphy world was great for both of us because we did horror and comedy and drama and you got a little bit of everything. So it was a great way to really hone those skills. So it really is, depends on the material. What would you say, Peyton?
Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, every time you join a new project, you're going to have to, you know, use a new point of view, and your head's going to be in a different space from where you were on the last project. And you're going to match that tone. Like on Murders, what's so great about the show is that the tone is kind of, all over the place. We get to play with comedy and drama and thriller, suspense, murder, mystery, so it allows us to be versatile editors. We're not typecast, if you will, as comedy editors. We get to sort of do all the genres in one show, which is, I think, the beauty of it.
Yeah, it gives you guys a really good range. Really
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Yeah. Is there any particular software systems you really can't live without?
Well, we cut
I
on Media Composer, and that
Avid.
is the Avid Media Composer, which is the industry standard. And I used to be on Premiere, but now I haven't looked at it in years, and I don't even know. I probably wouldn't even know how to operate it anymore. So Avid, like, we cannot live without you. Avid, we love you.
Yes, Allison, I don't know anything else at this point. Like, I don't know. I'm in overload. Peyton has to help me with Instagram posts. So I'm the Charles Oliver, he's the Mabel. So all I can do is have it.
I love it. So like how does is editing judged when it comes to being awarded awards?
Oh God, I wish I knew because
Crack the
no,
code.
I think, like, I mean, at least, for me, I think what, in the TV Academy, editors are voting for editors, right? We're in our specific peer group. And I think, when I'm voting and I'm watching editing, it's an invisible art, right? You don't want to notice where we're cutting, and you want to just be so in the world of the episode or the film or whatever you're watching. And so, if I'm not bumped by anything, or if I'm like so in it, like I know this was cut really well and I'm like in the rhythm and in with it. So I don't know, you're looking at those kind of things. You're looking at the rhythm and if everything's flowing, and if you're not taken out, like editing can, if there's something jarring, it could take me out of it where I'm like, whoa, wait, what was that? What happened? If you're like geographically confused, so you're really trying to just, something Shelley actually taught me when we were always working together is you're always tracking the eyes, right? You're following where the eyes are looking from character to character. And so we'll do this thing where we'll watch a scene with the sound off so that you're not distracted by the audio, and you're just tracking the eyes and where you're moving in the frame. And that's really helped me find my rhythm and pacing with editing.
Yeah, it's really your emotional response too. Like, are you laughing? Are you crying? Like, how does it feel? I try and turn off that editor brain as much as possible to just enjoy a show. So it kind of goes by like how I felt.
Yeah, that's awesome. What's the process like from like getting the episode raw to actually having it air, and like how you guys work through that?
It's a long well, actually on Murders it's kind of fast, but
Really?
yes, you know, they'll it'll be like they'll block shoot the show, so they'll shoot 2 episodes at once, and we'll start getting dailies. It's probably about a 2 week process per 2 episodes, I would say, give or take.
Yeah.
And then we'll have, you know, 2 days after they wrap shooting to have our editor's cut done, which is, you know, a full assembly, score, sound design, the whole thing. We send that to the directors, and then they'll have 2 or 3 days to do their pass, and they get to, you know, do whatever they want, change performances, change music, whatever they want to do, you know, their cut. And then we'll go to the producers, they'll do their thing. That takes a little longer because, you know, they're working on set and doing other stuff. Then it'll go to the studio, they'll do their pass. So it's just like all these different rounds of notes, you know, where we're getting it to this final product. And then eventually we're picture locked. It's probably, you know, about a month or two after we got the episode together ish, give or take. You know, it's situational. You never know. And then we go into the finishing process where we'll go to the sound mix and we have visual effects going and getting dropped into the show, and it gets color timed, and then it's so fun for us to see the final product of, you know, everyone's hard work. It's such a collaborative effort, and post-production in and of a whole, you know, it's such a team-based thing. We couldn't do it alone.
And the score recording, we are lucky enough to be able to record live music. Not all TV shows have that budget or time. So it's been like such a joy to go to the recording stage, and they'll record like 2 or 3 episodes worth of music. You're with an 18-piece orchestra. Like, I get goosebumps just talking about it. It's so beautiful. But also at this point, because Payton and I have been on for a couple of seasons, we had a lot of things already built. So like sound beds, you know, so when I have a scene in Charles' apartment, I have a whole sound thing I can just kind of cut and paste into it because we've established these environments. So there's a lot of like prepping to do all this because you've got to move really quickly for these editors' cuts. You know, the schedule was tighter this year because of the writer's strike, and we you know, started later. But we've got a rhythm now and a kind of a really tight relationship with the composer. Like, we'll kind of talk about a scene that's coming up, and I'll like be reading the script in different voices, and he'll start humming music, or he'll FaceTime us and start singing us things or playing things on his piano, and we'll be like, no, I think we need violins there, or I think we need a flute there, you know, whatever it is. So it's become like so much fun, and having that kind of friendships with everyone. Same with Matt Waters in our sound department. I'll say, hey, we've got this really kind of crazy thing with Paul Rudd falling down an elevator shaft. Like, what can we do? And he'll come up with some beds of sound and send them to us while we're doing our editor's cut. So we like to involve all of our collaborators very early on so that they get their chance to kind of establish these environments before we
It's
just
really
turn over
cool.
the cut and say, here you go, done.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people maybe know that, like, you know, it's not an all individualistic piece. It's actually just a huge teamwork thing even before,
Yeah.
yeah, it airs. That's really awesome. So anything has changed? Anything has anything changed since when you first started working on the show, season 2, I believe, right? Until now?
Mhm.
Anything you've
I,
changed your styling or anything?
oh, I think the thing for me, the thing that's changed is just having those really deep relationships. And so at this point, we know the show. It's really, you know, such a joy to work on. Everyone's so nice. And so oftentimes the cuts we present to the producers, they're in really good shape. We've had a number of episodes where they're like, this is great. And then as an editor, you're like, wait, what do you mean it's great? Don't we need to pick it apart? And they're like, no, you got it. So there's a rhythm that we've fallen into. What would you say, Payton?
Yeah, and just like a level of confidence. I think, you know, it's we're on our 3rd year and we do know the show very well. And John, our showrunner and producer, John Hoffman, he really trusts us and knows that we know how he wants to tell the story. And I think every season, you know, the show is changing in a way, you know, every season it's reinventing itself, right? But it's at the, you know, bottom line, it's still the same show. It's about these group of loners who are found family and are, you know, now have a whole business and are friends. And it's yeah, you know, it's just it's a joy to go back every year and see what new things they're inventing in the writers room, and then for us to sort of come up with how are we gonna, you know, reinvent the show this season while staying true to its tone, you know.
Mhm. Do you guys ever watch it with your friends or family, the show, and be like, "Oh, that was my idea," or like during this scene, it was so hard to edit, you have no idea.
Of course. Oh my god, literally, of course, all the time. I yeah, I
Payton,
love.
Payton has watch parties at his house, and so family and friends and I've joined in, and it's so much fun, and we have little drinks and dinner and then watch the show together, and it's just so much fun. Of course I'm like, oh my god, that edit, what did I do? Oh my god, no. But I have to stop doing that. Because it's
Yeah,
over, it's done. I gotta just enjoy.
yeah. No, and at this point, you know, with so many episodes that we've done on the show, it's like I just have so many memories of, you know, different watching it for the, you know, the first time done, you know, and seeing those reactions and reactions with our producers, and it's just yeah, there are lots of special memories of watching things back.
Awesome.
Last night was super special because there's a scene where Howard, Michael Cyril Creighton, is playing a bit of a podcast he recorded to Mabel, and he talks about Henry, the Central Park Clydesdale. And my sister has a Clydesdale, so I recorded Portia on my iPhone and got it into the episode. So Portia's on TV now. So that my family is just going crazy today with that.
It's a little Easter egg.
Yeah.
And then last question for you guys. What's the biggest piece of advice you can give for someone wanting to get into editing or just the film industry in general?
Something I always tell people is just to, you know, tell people what you want to do, because people in the industry love passion and love people that are into it and hard workers. And so, you know, when I was coming up as a post-production assistant, I was telling everyone in the office that I wanted to edit. What do I need to do to, you know, get there? And I would come in and do the dailies early, and I'm stocking the fridges and getting everything set up. You know, I just made it very clear that it's what I wanted to do. And I'm lucky enough that I knew that, you know, there's so many people that don't know what they want to do. And so if you are interested in editing and you want to get in there, cold call people, email, reach out. I stalk people on LinkedIn. You know, just send the email, be annoying, because, you know, people like when you're passionate. You know, they might not respond right away, but then they'll remember, oh, that kid, he emailed me 50 times. He's actually going to be great. Let's reach out to him. Let's give him a chance.
It's so true. I have like a inbox right now of emails from people that I'm gonna have coffee with in the next couple weeks. Like I don't know them, but they reached out or they saw the nominations or the different press. So it is about establishing your network. Absolutely. A lot of my friends that we all started as assistant editors today, we're, you know, here 25 years later. You know, they're winning Academy Awards and Emmys as well, and we're all still friends, and we all call each other for advice or say, hey, I'm really struggling with this. So it really is about the network that you build, and that's the most important thing about this industry. Absolutely. And helping each other, you know, connecting each other. If I don't know something, I'll connect someone with someone else, so, you know, send them down a path. So it is all about the support that we can provide for each other.
Yeah.
And learn media composer.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys both so much for joining me today. Congrats again. And look forward to seeing the rest of the season.
Thanks so much.
Bye.
Bye.